Today's video is about intermittent fasting. What is it, and should you try it? Hey guys, what's going on? Paul Revelia here from ProPhysique.com, and I just want to say thank you to all the people who have been emailing me, commenting on the videos, and just giving me feedback on the last couple days. This is going to be the fourth video I've done in 4 days addressing a question. The questions came from my clients, but questions that are really high quality like this, I just assume that there's going to be a wide array of people who are interested in the information as well. So I figure why not just put the information on YouTube and give back a little bit and see if there's any interest in these topics. And so far, it's been great. Also, a few people have been commenting on the beard. You know, I was initially just thinking be lazy and not shave for a couple days, but kind of enjoying it. So let me know what you think. Should I shave it? Should I dye it a little bit, throw a bit of the old wash out the gray, or should I just go full bush on this thing and let it whack out a little bit? I don't know. You know, it's fun changing things up a little bit. Also threw on a hat today. Why? Having a bad hair day, and believe me, it's hard to have a bad hair day when you don't have that much hair. But it was just not worth dealing with. So ProPhysique hat engaged. So today's topic is intermittent fasting. And this has gained a lot of popularity across a lot of walks of life, and specifically even in the fitness community. I know it gained a lot of popularity a few years back. And so I want to give my thoughts on it, explain what it is, and maybe give you some information that can help you decide if it's something worth trying for you if you're interested in, you know, going down that route. So let's talk about intermittent fasting. What is intermittent fasting? Well, first of all, it's not a diet. A lot of people get into a certain type of diet, the Zone diet, the Atkins diet. These types of diets are very specific. Intermittent fasting is not a diet, it's a philosophy. It's a way of approaching your eating in such a way that you are in a fasted state for more than you were in a fed state during the day. Most popular method of doing the intermittent fasting diet is to eat all your calories in an 8-hour window and then fast the other 16 hours of the day. What are the benefits? And what are the drawbacks? The biggest benefit, in my opinion, when you change something, change your philosophy of eating, is that you just change your approach to everything. A lot of us get caught up in really bad habits, and trying to eat every 3, 4, 5 hours can a lot of times develop overeating patterns. You can have issues with energy. You know, I've noticed sometimes when I eat larger meals too close together, it can make me a little tired, have less energy. And so I think the benefits for changing it to a new philosophy of intermittent fasting is that you're going to change your habits. Now, one of the big drawbacks, if I tell you you can't eat for 16 hours, the first thing that's going to come to everyone's mind is I'm going to be hungry. And while that might be true at first, what you will find is when you fast, if you extend it longer and longer, or you change the way you eat, hunger signals are also going to change. Hunger signals are most closely associated with the pattern of eating. You know, I work with people that come to me eating every 2 to 3 hours, and that's not what I suggest. And when I suggest my philosophy, I often find people tell me right away, well, what if I get hungry every second or third hour? What should I do? Isn't that my metabolism? No, it's not your metabolism. That's your eating pattern. Your body is adapted to those hunger signals based on your eating patterns. So just like that, with intermittent fasting, you should be able to go longer stretches without eating and not be hungry. So what are the benefits of that? Well, for the people that follow intermittent fasting, I'll let them comment below because I know there's a lot of them out there. And what I have experienced when I've done this is that it just frees up your mind, it frees up your time. You're not super hyper focused on always getting a meal in every couple hours. You're not super hyper focused. Now, when I've used an intermittent fasting approach, it's usually been when I've traveled or when I'm in a different place and food's not available the way I want it to be. And instead of being super worried about what I'm going to eat for breakfast, I just skip breakfast. I'll have some BCAAs, I'll drink some water, and I'll just get through my morning, and then I'll increase my calories at the subsequent meals. So that would be, in my opinion, the greatest benefit of it. Also, the hunger signaling aspect. If you're not hungry and you're doing well, then you can cruise right on through to lunch or early dinner and have a great day. And then guess what? You get to look forward to some bigger meals. That's another great aspect of intermittent fasting, is that your meals are more satiating because you're going to be eating a lot of food at these sessions. Hopefully that gives you guys a window into what kind of intermittent fasting is. There's different ways to do it. Don't learn it from me. Click on the Google machine and type in intermittent fasting and see what you come up with. Try to find websites that are not selling you something, but instead just providing you information. I found a few good links on the topic. A few links where it seemed like it was a good link, but then it ended up being a sales pitch, which nothing wrong with that, but you want to get a good bit of information. I think, the people that I've talked to tend to do the eat all their meals from like 4 in the afternoon to midnight, or 2 in the afternoon to 10 p.m. and then they fast all night, all day. That's the most common. You can probably even, I even saw some people that were doing like fasting for an entire day. So there's different methods of approaching intermittent fasting. And if it's something you're interested in, I think the most important thing would just be dive into it and try it. We can talk philosophy all we want, but until you actually try it, that's when you're going to know what you like or don't like about the process. Let's talk about why I don't recommend intermittent fasting as the primary objective. Now, if it fits one of my clients' goals, I'm not against it by any means. Happy to have them do it. What's more important to me is your total caloric intake for the day, and within that, your proper macronutrient ratios for the day. So as long as those are met, meal timing to me is secondary. But what would I suggest be optimal? Just based on the muscle protein synthesis aspect, I like to get a few more doses of protein throughout the day. If you're doing an intermittent fasting approach and you're doing that 8-hour window, you're only going to get 2 spikes to your muscle protein synthesis. You can extend muscle protein synthesis with amino acids and things throughout the day, but I prefer, when all is optimal and I can get 4 meals a day, I like to have 4 large meals a day. Does that mean it's right for you? Does that mean intermittent fasting is bad? Of course not. That is just my philosophy on the topic. You can have a different approach and maybe it works for you. Again, total calories and macronutrient ratios being at the top of the importance level. How you break those down within the day is secondary in my opinion. If you want to break it down into 3-hour meals, but you're still hitting the same totals, I don't have a problem with that. The research shows that muscle protein synthesis is optimized in 4 to 6 hour windows, allowing it to rise and fall. Otherwise you get a refractory period if you eat too frequently, right? And if you space your meals out too far apart, you're only going to be able to get so many in a 24-hour window. As with intermittent fasting, if you're eating in a small block of time, you're only going to get that boost at those 2 meals. Also, for someone that's my height and weight and size, I'm 220 pounds or so, so my protein goals are more than 1 gram per pound. So let's say I'm eating 240 to 250 grams of protein a day. With an intermittent fasting approach, that means my meals are going to have to be well over 100 grams of protein if I'm only eating 2 times a day. And that's not something I'm really interested in doing. So the intermittent fasting approach, while not for me, I can certainly see how it would be beneficial for others who enjoy the lifestyle. So what's the science behind it? A lot of the science behind intermittent fasting that I saw discusses when you're in a fasted state, you're able to burn fat better because insulin is not elevated. When you eat, insulin is elevated, and I see a lot of information on the internet stating that when insulin is elevated, you can't burn body fat. That's actually not correct. Your body is constantly in a state of storing and burning body fat. So what's most important is the 24-hour window. So if 2 people eat the same amount of calories and the same ratios in a 24-hour window, but one person's on intermittent fasting and one person's eating 3 to 4 meals a day, there's going to be no difference in fat loss over that time. Now, there may be other benefits to it, such as hunger signaling. You might actually be able to handle it better with your schedule. So I'm not suggesting that it's better. What's better for you is going to be what's going to help you be compliant and be consistent and what you can do. if you find, and a lot of people don't eat breakfast, but if you find that it's easier to cruise through the day and then get all your meals in at the end of the day and then repeat just because you're not hyper focused on eating constantly, then I'm all for it. So guys, that's my take on intermittent fasting. I would love to hear some feedback. Of course, I would love to get some clicks on the subscribe button if you're enjoying the content, because putting these videos out daily and getting comments and subscribers, it really motivates me to keep this process going. I've really been enjoying this whole week of, I've gotten in touch with so many new people. This is my 4th video, as I've said, in 4 days, and I got 1 more to do tomorrow. Then I'm gonna go back to my, my regular, 1 or 2 a week. Go at the Olympia coming up, so I'm gonna shoot a bunch of footage out there. Of course, I travel to bodybuilding shows, and if you guys are interested in some training questions, I can do those as well. I have a home gym, so I can do some training footage in there. But anyway, guys, hopefully that answers some questions. If you have anything more specific, email me, paul@prophysique.com, or leave a comment below. Comments below would actually be the best, because that way we can share it with the community. If you ask a question, maybe it's going to be on somebody else's mind. So please comment, and questions would be great below. Other than that, guys, have an awesome Thursday, and see you at the Olympia.